Wow.
So this is the second time we started the podcast.
Lord,
we
I
are
lift your name on high.
unhinged but fun. Yeah, right.
Lift up your cross.
So student mass is back. So we just had that. It was wonderful. It's great to see all the students again back in church. Father Mike, just amazing homily today. I loved it. It was just good. If you look at the bulletin cover, it's just a picture of a man walking, holding a book. Could be a Bible, could be a dictionary. I don't know anyone that walks around with a dictionary, but you don't know. It's a big book. Catechism, maybe, whatever. But like his shadow is...
I'm going to go with a novel.
Sure, you never know. Lord of the Rings, probably. I mean, who wouldn't?
Right.
I love Lord of the Rings. Anyhow, that's a side quest for another day.
Definitely.
When you talk to someone who is a competitive athlete, it's amazing when you find out some of the best games maybe that they played or where they really shined. They were hurt. Like, you don't necessarily know what someone has going on. Like this guy is carrying this big heavy cross. You can't tell. He's just walking down the street. You would not know that he's carrying this big cross. The other thing too is then from the gospel, Jesus says, unless you pick up your cross and come after me, you cannot be my disciple. And it's kind of the same thing with sports. If you're going to be a soccer player, if you're going to be a football player, you have to play the sport of football. If you don't play within the parameters of the rules of football, you're not a football player.
So,
yeah.
Like, I bowled because I'm
so you're a bowler? What would you call that? Like a bowler? Is that what a bowler?
Yeah. Like the hat. Yeah. But anyway, but I mean, you can compete against other people, but the primary goal of bowling is to bowl against yourself.
That's true. Yeah. We have a little blurb. So this weekend we're going to have a second collection, a special second collection with our, what is it called? I never know. Our mission of friendship with the Diocese of Yucatan, Mexico. I believe Father Kevin will be speaking about it this weekend. There will also be flyers around. But then in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, we have our regular second collection, which will be for faith formation, for Catholic education through faith formation. So
through Catholic education, which includes both the
faith
school
formation,
and faith formation.
See? She's the one who knows everything.
Well,
so it's like we got this. So check out that little blurb. There'll be another one in the bulletin, but it kind of talks about an important note is if you do give to this second collection, half of the money stays in the faith formation program here.
In 2 weeks. This one here for
the partners, the mission of friendship.
The mission of friendship,
different.
It's all them.
So there's two.
Yeah.
Something that we will be doing. This isn't really a St. Jude corner. It's like the whole bottom, but that's okay. You can take a look at the St. Jude School faculty and the staff. So keep them in your prayers as they continue to walk with our young people across the parking lot at the school. Please bring someone to Mass with you this weekend, and this is exciting. I'm so pumped for this because Uno's tip of the week is not in the bulletin. Because it got bumped, because we have a letter from our new pastor, Father Mike, and it's a great explanation. Someone asked him a question. Father Mike loves questions. So asked him a question about why him and Father Kevin, upon their arrival, immediately started taking the task of purifying the vessels back. The extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion were doing it, that's what they were tasked to do. And so one of the first things Father Mike said is, nope, the priests are going to do that. And he has a great explanation in here as to why. So be sure to read that. And if you have any questions for Father Mike, I can't promise you a bulletin article, but he will answer them. He loves questions. So we got a ton going on. Cub Scouts is going to be kicking off again. So check that out. If that's something that you're interested. Our Ladies Guild is going to be having their first meeting coming up here, so that's in there. The Augustinian Journey, I know the link is long, you have to type it out, but you can learn more a little bit about Pope Leo's vision. And then there's some other events going on.
Sacred Heart drive-through barbecue chicken dinner is amazing. If you've never had it, it's Chevette's chicken.
Ooh, and I've never had it.
It's from Chevette's is up in New York.
Yeah, I've had that before, but I didn't know that's what was there.
That's what comes. So Chevette's comes, and then there's sides that go with it. It's usually really good, and they always sell out. So if you want to come early, but
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah,
it's
one of those.
Amazing.
It is really good. I've had it many, many times. So
and then of course the St. Patrick Parish Irish Festival. Which I will confess I've only been to like once.
Never have.
Yeah. So I mean, it was good. So, but my kids were like babies when we went. So it was kind of like one of those things where it was like, why did we do this to ourselves? Like, we'll come back when they're older. So they're older. Maybe we'll give it a go. All right.
So this weekend also brings us to a really, really fun time in the church.
Yes.
Two very young saints two very young men will become saints this Sunday.
Is it this Sunday already?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
The canonization of Carlo Acutis and Pier Giorgio Frasetti. So there's a little bit about both of them in the children's bulletin, along with a little coloring spot for both of them. But I remember Bishop Donald Troutman used to use Pier Giorgio Frasetti during the confirmation homily for numerous years.
I'm sure.
And Carlo Acutis, his mom's been talking. I think I just saw a clip of her talking to Christophonic.
Yeah, I watched. Yeah, so, great video. Go look it up. Wonderful little.
Yeah, he died at a very young age of leukemia, and Pier Giorgio also had polio, so in his early 20s. So again, very young men who love their faith so much and share, and we get to celebrate them becoming saints this weekend.
Absolutely.
And then there's an actual kids calendar in the bulletin this time. I got it here. It came on time, I guess, for this weekend. So check that out. And
children's liturgy is starting up. Next weekend. So
isn't
that
a fun picture?
I love that picture.
Isn't that so cute?
Yeah. So it's not this weekend. So I guess we'll talk about it again in the next podcast. But one little thing to pray about, if you are still watching, is that Colleen has asked that we start to put together as a parish like a kind of a leadership team of people who can lead children's liturgy. She's been the sole. And usually you would say that in a word of like individual, but I think in this case it also applies when you spell it the other way. She literally has been the life.
She came, she volunteered. Next thing she knows, she was the only one, and she's been doing it now for years.
Like 20 plus years.
Yeah, over 20 years.
Yeah, so she's been wonderful. All the kids love her. And she said she wants to step back from leadership. I don't know if she wants to completely stop, but I know that she
has a lot of tools and stuff like that to help the next person.
Many hands make light work.
Yeah.
But what we would like to see is not just one person leading children's liturgy. We would like a group of people. So if that's something that you have a desire to do, if the Lord puts that on your heart in the coming weeks, please talk to Colleen after 10:30 Mass, or you can reach out to the office and we can put you in contact with her. So, please.
Or if you're interested in maybe a little bit more than just, the children in children's liturgy are a little too young, and you're looking for something to give, to be on rotation to help with faith formation too, where you could use some
we are gonna need
new
some teachers.
help and faces. So, anyway, on the back with our Let Us Pray this week is a prayer for our newest saints. So pray with that with your families. And at the bottom, there was a nice other additional reflection. It says, what small sacrifice can you make today for Jesus as you remember his great sacrifice for you?
Yeah.
So on the day of rest, which some people do take advantage of Sundays as being a rest day.
Yeah, right.
Some people get ready for the next week. I mean, like it's all how you play out your Sundays.
Absolutely.
But is there anything your family could realistically sacrifice in order to maybe do something more? So.
Well, and this kind of falls under, to go full circle, what we were talking about at the beginning. Like, do you love God above all things? And a real great way to grow in that love is to look at your lifestyle and be like, is Jesus even in it? Like that's something myself personally, my family could grow in, maybe having some more prayer time, but also being like this morning, it was cool. I actually got to tell her about it. I was kind of getting a little bit anxious because, get like just different, what do you call it? Like different routine. Mm-hmm. So I'm just kind of like, I'm running a little bit behind. I'm like starting to get stressed out. And normally I have to be like, hey, like to my daughter, it's like, hey, are you getting ready? Are you doing this? Are you doing that?
Or did she get you ready this morning?
No, she just got herself ready. And it was funny how it was like, and I got to tell her this in the car on the way to school. And it's funny because she's actually sitting just off camera right over there. But so it's kind of weird, but it's fun to be like, I got to say like, hey, like, thank you because you did what you were supposed to do. I was able to kind of get it together a little bit better today. So she revealed Jesus to me in that way, and that was really neat. But that's the thing, to just start to see Jesus moving. Am I carrying my cross? Am I doing what God has asked me to do? And if you are, well, then your life will be ordered toward Jesus. A beautiful reflection that came up this morning at Bible study was one of the easiest outs that Jesus could have had as a human being from the passion, because he did pray in the Garden of Gethsemane, Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me, but not my will, but your will be done. And we talked about how one of the easiest things Jesus could have said as a human being was, Father, let this cup pass from me because I have to take care of my mother.
Well, that was today's gospel. So
Exactly. And what was interesting was being like, Jesus did, on the cross, in a physical sense, an earthly sense, he abdicated his role of caring for his mom to John. But that also talks about, him giving Mary to us as our mother as well. But like, that's the thing, like Jesus loves each of us so much. He withheld nothing, including his mom. Like, think about that. And it's like, so think about all that Jesus has done for you and all he's done for me. And when we think about that, the question then, when we ask, like, is Jesus the most important thing in your life? Do you work towards, do you utilize that love, that knowledge, that faith in your life the way that you would for anything else? Like sports or like theater or like reading or like whatever your hobbies might be. Do you give yourself completely to that cause, of the cross of Jesus, just like you do for everything else? That's kind of the point. So pray with that. That's a big ask, but it's different for each person. Like the way that each of us respond is different because God made us different. As Father Mike pointed out to the kids today, we're all on a journey and each of us are in a different place. But we're all journeying towards the Lord. So pick up your cross, follow Jesus, and yeah, the other readings this weekend are really cool too. So check them out. Be ready, and we will be here this weekend, and we will be happy to pray with you and walk with you.
Yep. See you then.
Peace.